All right, welcome back to
Forex is stupid.
and honestly, coming back at it to stay updated with everything. Even if you don't feel like it, because I don't feel like it, and I honestly, don't feel like it. I honestly, want to quit, but I'm not. So I'm just being authentic with it and show you how I feel. May not be how you're feeling, but hopefully you seeing the authenticity of me come here sometime being happy at being on, sometime not being happy to get on. Because I know some people they'll mask it, but I don't want to mask it because I feel like that's why a lot of traders um have these false fallacies because life happens and then they don't know how to deal with it or whatever. Like whether you on demo or whether you are live, you'll take a back seat, especially if you are putting into a play that you want to sit down every day or a certain amount of time throughout the week to execute everything. Being consistent, it's it's a lot. So we're gonna get to it. We're gonna go over gold, Nas 100, JPY USD, and GBP JPY. See what they did from last week. And I don't think I really um marked everything up. I'm not for sure which ones I actually marked up all the way. So I may go back. I think like gold or something. We was watching to see how it played out. So just depending on how it play out, I may delete it. I may not delete it. But I may go back later and clean the chart up, and then who knows? But let's just get into it. I'm going to press my timer. I don't want this to be too long because, again, like fully mentally, there are times where you should not trade where when you're not all the way in it. So today is Monday. They're going. I'm not taking any trades. I'm going to put trade ideas out there, and if you want to take those trades, you can go over those trade ideas, see if I missed anything. If you like it, take it, um, or not. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be consistent as far as myself, and even though I'm not feeling it today, tomorrow, who's to say tomorrow, me come back in and looking to see how the market play out, that I may not feel it tomorrow. Like, who's to say? But honestly, all in all, I'm in a pretty good attitude and mindset. I'm just feeling, I'm not gonna really say what I'm feeling. I'm just in my emotions. So, um, we are going to look at gold first. So from last week, we was looking to see if gold was going to make this trade, and I wanted you guys to see this. It was a 1 and 3 trade. We actually took that trade for the upside because we saw where price on a lower time frame had broke above it. Right. So once price broke above our daily close, we made an initial decision to get in to travel up to the daily high. And at that point, I think I was more willing to get in because it was the daily and the weekly high. So um, I was like, yeah, this thing is still buying. And when we was able to make that last push, as you can see, and right in here, we wanted to see price to break above the daily close. And then I wanted to actually break the daily high, which is also the weekly high. And then you see it did that, and then it came back into the weekly close. It was a previous weekly close. So what I wanted to do, all right, check this out. What I wanted to do, I wanted the price to come back into this area where the daily close was at and to get in. And that's what we did it. And we rolled the trade back up to where price has been before to retest the high, and price broke above that high. So I wanted you to see that before I actually like did anything to this chart. Like I said, I may just look at it right now, see if I may see some trade ideas, and then go back and mark up through it. So it may be a cleaner chart when I look at. I don't know yet. We will see. Because I really wanted March. I wanted to come in with March being a clean chart. Um, so the trade hit uh this week here, which was February 19th. So that was good. That was good. So that trade hit for gold. Good job. Wait, I dropped my pen. Maybe not a good job. My pen like literally disappeared. And hold on. Let me go looking for it. I want to pause everything. Really? Oh, I got it. All right. So I couldn't find that pen for nothing, but I found it. So as of right now, we took profit to that trade, and then for the rest of the week, we just let that trade do what it do, right? Do what it do, and it did a lot. It did a lot. So we're gonna look at it from the day point of view. See what it did there. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so price broke above and knocked us into our trade, and then it came back and retest. So I wanted to point something out. So I actually want price to come back in and break above where we at. I don't know. I really do. I kind of like where gold is at right now. The daily pivot level is down here. For the week. All right. So yeah, what I think was waiting for the retest, reverse, change the character, price retest and broke above, but it didn't take out the trade. Want to see if price is going to break into a higher high. Did it do that? Did it break? No. Yeah, because the high was here and the low was here. There's a higher high, but then it dipped into this pivot. So yeah, I think this was one of the trades I wanted to, yeah, because as you can see, price is buying, and then it's like making some equalness here. So, huh, yeah. So I want to delete this trade since we already hit go, and I want to start off from the month time frame and then document it from there. But I do like this trade. I do like this trade. So let's do it from there. So we're gonna delete gold, and if I deleted it before I didn't mark it up, then oh well. I'm gonna go to the month since this is February, and we're gonna go to the previous candle. So this is where we are for March. This is February, and you already know what we're gonna do. So we're gonna make that thing even slicker than well, slicker than a snicker, thicker than a snicker. I haven't seen it. So I'm past the time by a little bit. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I don't want to put on music on right now. I probably should, right, to pass the time away, right? All right. And then is my time on? Nope. Let me actually press this bad boy. Oh wait, 35. All right, boom. We in it. So we are marking the probably should put some non-copyright music on so it won't be so uh blah blah blah, but my wife is asleep, so I'm not gonna be rude. Um, all right. So this is the monthly open and then a monthly close. So previous month open, and we're gonna duplicate it and make it a previous month close. All right. When you buy bottom, and then you close at the top. All right, boom. Now we want to mark the high and the low of that previous week. I mean, that previous month, which is going to be the yellow. Previous month doesn't have a low, so we're going to write previous week, previous month high. And since gold was in a pretty strong buy, we're not going to well, this is pretty strong buy. We can get into where the major points are at. Is this up there? So mm, mm, I think I more so marked these for myself. So let's go. Okay. Let's look here and there. And it's not necessarily a point, but you can make it a point because it's a significant area. But we'll just go with that. And then we'll make this lighter. Uh, we'll go like this. Okay. All right, none. All right. So we up there. Shut down to our week. Actually, let me back up to our month. And then we're gonna zoom into. So I don't want to spend too much time on one chart like I always do, and then I'll be sitting here for an hour trying to go in on this chart. Like, no man. So we got the previous month open, the previous close for it, the high. So let's go to the week. This is March 25th. This is last week, so we can mark the opening and close for that. Boom, boom. And this is like a pattern, like a flag, triangle, like a flag to the upside, but I don't know. So let's look at it. So this would be the previous, this is week. So we're gonna mark that high. We're gonna make it pink. We're gonna mark that low. I'll make it pink. Previous week low. And then the previous week high. And that's what we're gonna look at for this week and this week here. Let's pull the chart back a little tad bit. So now we have the previous week high. Oh, wait, before we do it, let's do the opening and closing of the previous week. Open, boom, pink. Okay, boom. Like I said, I know it's kind of quiet, but I'm trying to be courteous to the sleep time. All right, so everybody sleep. All right, so this is what we do, right? You have previous open, previous weekly open, which is here. Then you have the previous weekly close, which is at the top. Previous weekly close. Boom. All right, so previous weekly open, previous weekly close, previous weekly high, previous weekly low. So that's what we're looking at for this week. And as you can see, this week is already above the previous weekly close. So they're letting you know we're in another nice buy. And now we're back in it. So this will be the daily candlestick that we're in right now. So this is the previous day. We'll make this final markup. We're gonna mark the previous high, the previous low of the daily candle, and then we're gonna mark the previous open and the previous daily close for that daily candle. And then we're gonna move into the weekly and the monthly time frame. Okay. So let's do this last little bit. Change the color to red, little red. Okay. This count is the previous week candle. All right. So that um okay. And let's move this all the way out. Hold on. Shh. You gotta be considerate. Previous daily open. Oh, the open from the top. And the previous daily close. My bad. And then we got the previous daily high. And we have the previous daily low. All right. Now let's see what these candles do and decide one another. All right, so the yellow is the monthly time frame, the purple is the weekly time frame, and the red is the daily. Let's move into the 4 hour. 4 hour drops below. Okay. 4 hour drops into the previous weekly open, and then back above the previous weekly close. It dipped below the previous daily close, but it did not break below the previous daily low. And if we're going to trade anything, we want to see price break two areas, and I'm trying to find my market for it. So if you want to trade, we're gonna look to break the previous daily low to trade down to the previous weekly low, down to that monthly. If it breaks the previous daily high, then we're looking to trade up to that previous weekly high, all the way up to that monthly, right? So those are two ways we're looking for a price to move. So let's drop down to our 1 hour real quick and see where else. So price broke above the previous. So it didn't break below. It didn't break below that. It didn't break below the previous daily low or the previous daily high. Um, it did break below the previous daily close, and then for the previous weekly close, it bounced back into that. So let's look at this. I think it's buying still. Did I take out my pivot points? I think so. All right, boom, 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 boom. And if you want to do the pivot points, you want to know how I did that, look, make sure you stay tapped in because I got a video for you coming this week. It was supposed to be out last week, but hey, gonna put everything out this week, and you don't want to miss it. For sure. For sure. Oh yeah, so we're back above the pivot levels. We just got back above that pivot levels from the previous daily close up to the previous daily open, previous daily high. The price can also drop right back below that pivot level. And it didn't obviously break the low or obviously break the high. So as far as gold, I would like, wait, hold on. I like gold, but I want to see price break this previous daily low or the previous daily high for me to trade this. Um, so if it does break the previous daily high, boom. Then if you look at the pivot points, we should be above them. And then we were going to buy from the previous daily high all the way up to the previous weekly high or to retest this previous monthly high. But if not, price breakdown to the previous daily low. You can probably trade from the previous daily low to the previous weekly low. And then you have this strong demand area right here that you will have to get through before you get to the pivot level. So me trading with, for me, I would trade below this monthly zone here. I think it's probably the open or the closing. So the monthly closing, I would wait till I get below there and then trade down to the monthly open. But my candlesticks will also change too. So, but right now, since it's above it and we're looking for a buy, I want to see price pushing to the previous daily high and then buy that movement. You know what I'm saying? So actually, let's see. Yeah, but I want to see price do a obvious move right now because it hasn't broke the previous week high or the previous weekly low. I mean, previous daily high or the previous daily low. So let's just make that happen. So price come here, boom, break below. But I want to look for a sell in this area. Um, for me to buy, I want price to buy to the previous day up to the previous daily high. Boom, boom, retest, and then look to buy up to that like that, like so. So I mean that's all I got right now for gold. I'm not really um feeling gold far as trading it for a buy. Because if price do break this previous monthly close right here, going into the previous monthly high, or as you can see, price had tested it multiple times in that area here. Price has also tested in the past there. Um, it could be a very high indicator for some of these sellers to already, I mean buyers to already start pulling out their positions. So smart traders should have stopped pulling out, started pulling out their positions by there. Riskier traders are still in the market about right here because we don't know which way it's gonna go. So me personally, I would wait for the trade, do what it's gonna do, and if I'm gonna trade for a sale, trade down in here. And if I'm going to trade for this buy, wait till I'm at my previous daily high, and then I could buy up to the previous weekly high, past that to the previous monthly high. But I want to see what it's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I like to see what it's gonna do because if you look at it, there's a nice little trend going on too. And then I'm gonna move on. Saying, see what I'm saying? Nice little trend. And then price is now below that specific trend. So, you know what I'm saying? I want to see price reject this pullback. So price testing this. I want price to reject this pivot level up here and then look for this sale. So I'm more for the sale if price rejected, but I want to see price because even though, you know what I'm saying, price did reject it here, it needs to make that push below the previous daily low for me to get in. And like I said, I want to get below that demand level to make it reject, you know what I'm saying? So um I would keep this like this as we mark this. So we're going to watch gold and then we're going to move on to the rest of the one so we don't take all day on here. And I will keep us updated through the community chat on Facebook. So make sure you Excuse me. Make sure you follow us on there. Oh man, excuse me. And I'm gonna try to do my best to be better about this. I'll be going through this stuff tomorrow to give more updates about how everything's been going through this year so far. Hmm. All right. So um, I'm gonna type it on go, and I can go back and write it. Um, for was on what the week? Oh, daily, 4 hour, and when okay. Wait, looking for price to break previous daily high if we only buy. Um, looking for price to break previous daily low if we are going to sell 1 hour time frame. Price is let me see how I say this. Price is at the pivot point under pivot point. Um price also price also have broken a major trend line. Trend line. And it came back and retest that trend line, and that retest was done between the previous weekly low and the previous weekly high. Um, trend line between the previous weekly low, previous weekly high. Okay, so we want price to break the previous daily low, previous weekly low, and major demand area two, which is what um previous monthly close to sell. It's efficient. Like we can sell from the previous daily low to the previous weekly low, but you know, the solid sales, you know what I'm saying? Um, because on a daily time frame, we're still buying. Um, let's make sure we add that in there. Daily time frame, we're still buying. Daily, yeah, time frame, we are still above pivot point. So it's an increase for the buy. Wait to see what price do. Okay, so that's all I got for that one. All right. So now let's go into let's go into Nas. I want to make the JPYs the last thing. So I'm pretty excited about it, as you can see. I think we had a trade. No, I think we was waiting because we profit a trade up here. Yep. And then price made this drastic move to the downside. Boom. And they rejected this high point up here. And I had said I wanted the price to break this major zone if we're going to sell. And as you can see, price has definitely broken that major zone. So I want to see. I think I drew these zones up within the month. Oh no, yeah, these are on the what time frame zones? No, these definitely off of the weekly. These are weekly zones. Um, I kind of want to clean these up, but what I'm going to do, since these already profit up here, I'm going to go drop down to the day time frame, and then I'm just going to clear the areas we've already profited in. That makes sense. So we're going to delete that, delete this area. I'm gonna clean that up. So, because we literally ate all the way up to here, and then price all the way back down. So boom, 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 boom. Let's get it. I know it's got to be an easier wave, huh? Maybe. Okay, boom. This is like doing it without deleting everything, because this is a pretty clean chart, not gonna cap. So that can stay where price ate that at, and then we'll close this one out. Boom. And what did price? Did price take that trade there? Yeah. Okay. All right. So we literally watch, and if you go back to the videos of the weekly analysis, you can see where we watched this trade from the beginning, where price made the high all the way over here, and then came back down to retest this major zone. As you see, price was also creating a trend line to the downside. And then it broke above that trend line where we ate all the way up back up to the high point, and then price rejected the high point, coming down to retest that low, breaking the low. All right, so now we are all caught up. We're gonna go. Wait, let me make sure I delete all these words. We're gonna go and we're gonna mark the monthly open, close, high, all that good shenanigans. Drop down to the week, drop down to the day, and then we're gonna see if we can get a trade in on Nas 100 because I think we can. But Nas 100, as you can see, took profit for each time we did this. Each time we did this method. All right. There was time that we pre-jumped the method. I ain't gonna say we did, but there were times. So we're on the weekly. I need to be on the month. Okay, this is the month, right? Previous high. Boom. Okay. All right. I'm trying to make sure this is gone. So we ate. Okay. Well, we're gonna just delete this because you can literally see me. You can track how I did this. We ate two times off that trade. Boom. Well, maybe multiple times inside that trade. Um, all right, so we're going to delete that. Wait, delete this because I want to make sure I mark this correctly. So we're going to delete that. Delete it. Okay, there we go. Delete. All right, I'm going to mark the previous month. This is all of March right now. So this is all of February. So let's do it. February, we're going to mark this one gray. February, high. February, lowest. Boom. We're gonna mark it. Previous monthly high. All right. And then we're gonna mark the, you know, the shebang, the shaboya. Boom, boom. Let's go. Okay. Previous monthly close. Previous monthly open. Okay. And I don't know. Let's make these points red so we can know difference. 'Cause we got some gray floating around right here. And then we'll do previous monthly close, previous monthly open. So we open at the top, go down low, boom. Like, so that's what your monthly look like. Price already broke that major demand level here. You can call it resistant or whatever. And we want to see what it do with the week. So this is the week time frame here. So we just go mark because I mark these level with a line. I'll try not to put too much on this chart because we know it's selling for the week. Okay. So I'm gonna use yellow to bring some of these color out. So this is gonna be the previous daily open. It's gonna be previous daily close, previous daily low. Okay. So we're gonna mark those. Previous weekly, I keep saying daily, weekly open, previous weekly close, the yellow, and the previous weekly low. Mm, all right. So we have that. Now we have one more step to go through to do the daily, okay? And then we'll look into an entry. So it's what the previous monthly high look like. We're gonna put a good let's see, I'm always going over. Well, we're gonna do like 10 more minutes because the GBP JPY shouldn't take that long because one of the trades I was looking at, I do not want to take it all. So um yeah, let's do 15. All right. So let's drop down to the daily. The daily has broken the previous weekly low, which is good. So we're gonna mark the previous candle, not the candlestick that's on right now. Um, and we're gonna do it like this. Okay. White candle. We're gonna make it thicker. But then we're gonna do it right here. Oh, well, actually, I don't really need that. Need the line. Need that right. Sicker than the snicker. Tell me why I'm doing these colors so harsh, but okay. All right. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. All right, we're gonna go there. All right. Well, let's mark these things up. Okay. Previous daily, open. Previous daily, close. And the previous daily low. Okay. Now let's see what this thing is doing. This price is below the previous daily close. Let's see if price fall below the previous daily low. Even though we know we want to sell this bad boy. Oh, no. Price will back to retest. Where's my pivot points? Hmm. No pivot. Oh, so we're obviously below the pivot points for the daily. Um, yeah, so it's pre-weekly low. Awesome. I want to see price break below the previous daily low. Um, Still selling though. I'm trying to see what is price giving me right now. This is a trend line right here. It is. Hmm. Two. Okay. How? Oh, okay. So price come back down to here. No, came back up close to it here. So I don't know. I want to see price. I don't know. Honestly, with Nas 100, I want to see price pull back to the previous daily's close to get to that previous daily low. Even though it had broken on the high time frames, it was just starting that. Like, see, so I wanted to obviously break that previous daily low, and then I can try to get in or, you know, watch it throughout the week. So I think price may pull back to up in here. Pivot low, the pivot level is right in here. So I'll try to come back and retest this and then fall below. Um, Previous weekly low, previous daily low. Yeah, that's what it need to be broken into. I'm not too. I don't know if I'm gonna say I'm too confident into that trade at the moment. So I watch Nas 100 because did it break my previous weekly low? Yeah, we're still buying per se. So if it breaks into that, boom, you have to come back and retest it, even though it opened above, closed below. That'll be the next candle would verify that sale. Because we're still on the, yeah, because they can turn around and buy on my goof fast. Pivot point, yeah, so price will push below the previous day low. Looking for price to push below the previous daily low before looking for a sale. Um, price on week and daily time frame are not closed below previous daily. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to. Yeah, I want to break my previous daily low before I start looking at this sale like that. So I mean, that's actually pretty good. But if you found a trade, definitely sell after you get that momentum that you're looking for. So you sell below previous daily low, and then the previous daily high. Oh, well, the previous daily open. If you don't have that, then you trade it, excuse me, above the previous daily close or open, whichever one. The previous daily open. So I want to sell down here, but I want to buy above the previous daily open, breaking above the previous daily close, previous weekly close, like that. Boom. So yeah, I am going to wait on that. So yes, Nas 100. We have gold. I'm going to go ahead and push it to JPY, USD, and GBP, JPY, because we only have 6 minutes left, and I do not want to take all day on those two trades. So let's get into it. This is cleaner too. Um, JPY, US, JPY, USD. Uh, okay. Now we're gonna go to forexfactory.com. All right, we're gonna look at the everything for today because I have not looked at it. I don't like I said, I don't like this trade, but we'll see. JPY for Tuesday is yellow, yellow, but then red for USD and yellow. Then Wednesday, red for USD, yellow for USD. I don't see no JPY news. Thursday, red for USD, whew, yellow for USD, excuse me. Yeah, for Thursday, and then yeah, Friday too. So not much JPY news happening, but red for USD, for USD. So this is JPY's median pair. We see how price was literally falling from these points um here to what I'm saying here. Um, wait, because price is selling. I don't know why I'm pausing. This is part of tiredness that I am now. So price started off selling up there, and then price up down to here. Boom. Made a lower low to there. Boom. down to this low, but he had to break it. So price came in, made a lower low, boom, down to there. Price got here, woo, here, excuse me. And here the sales start to slow down. Um, and then the significant thing that we saw was prices made this lower low here, followed by another lower low right here, followed by a higher low right here. So we knew price was essentially buying, reversing. So, and we're like all the way down on this chart. So, um, I want to show you where we left off. We're gonna go to the days for, yeah, boom, there we go. Excuse me, don't give up on me. All right, so let me pause this real quick, get myself together. 1 second. Oh, excuse me. All right. All right, so on this method, we had got what two trades out of one. So two trades out of one that this method worked very well from. And we wanted to see price break above or below, and I think it broke above. And so we definitely got a change of character. So now price is no longer buying, right? Because if you look at this, this was the previous lower low, followed by a higher low, all about that higher low. We were stuck in this area for a long time. The price break above to create this neckline here. You get a inverted head and shoulder. Boom. Price retested, and as you can see, prices right now, boom, we are currently above that level, right? So we're gonna look for buying opportunities. I don't really like this trade, but definitely buying opportunities for the month. I don't really know. All right, for the wait for price to break the weekly high. Yeah, so I like that. Let's actually delete these. Oh, this is what gets me. I see. Actually, let's delete this. Boom. We're gonna delete that. And we're just gonna start off on the month time frame because we already know what we are doing. This is a lower low, followed by lower low, followed by lower high. So we already know. All right. Look at that. And we still have one more trade to go through. So congratulations, we about pushed the hour again. Let's go down to 6 more minutes. And GPP JPY is the trade I don't want to trade for this week. I did not like it, honestly. And I'll show you why. Previous month, here, wait, Previous monthly open. Previous monthly close. And that's the thing about it. Sometimes it takes time to chart this stuff up. Previous, previous monthly high. Ah, bear with me. All right. Previous monthly close. Boom. So for this month, price is definitely broke above the previous monthly close. And as you see, we're close to the previous monthly high. So we're going to drop down to the week. The week show that price is above the previous weekly high um, for right now. So let's go to the previous week candlestick and mark that. And then we go down to the daily. Let's use yellow to make that bad boy stand out. Actually, probably should start with GP, JPY, but through the ones that I didn't have to mark up first. Because it seems like these I had to mark up right. Even though I did these last week. Boom. Yellow and yellow. All right, let's mark it. Previous weekly low. Okay. Mark the previous weekly high. And then the previous weekly open. And the previous weekly close. Boom. So yeah, but let's see. Did that break the So you know, I didn't break the previous high yet. So we're marking the last one was the previous daily right here. And then we are going to go into it. Okay. Pink. Open. Close. Open, close, and high because it has tail. So this is the previous daily high. We're gonna turn that bad boy pink. And that's it. It is what it is. And then we gonna label. Previous daily open. That's just tripping. Previous daily close. Same repetitive thing. And previous daily high. All right. So we're gonna drop down to the 4 hour and the 1 hour to see if price breaks above this previous weekly here. And then the previous high. Make sense? Or is this the monthly that we drew in yellow? No, the monthly was green. The week was yellow. Yep. And the day was pink. Okay. 4 hour. Didn't break it. It pulled back a little bit. We want price to break above the previous daily high to buy. If it's going to sell, it gotta drop below the previous daily open and you know what I'm saying, sell down. Uh, we're looking for the buy, so let's look at my pivot points. My bad. We almost there. We have, all right, man. We just made it an hour. Like it. Next week we'll have to do nothing but mark it up. All right, so P and boom, boom, boom. Yeah, boom. Okay. So we're above the pivot points, and if price does break below the previous daily open, then you will look for price to go a little bit below that to sail down into the previous, what is this? Previous weekly close to the previous weekly open. Yeah, yeah. Since we're above, let's say we're above on the 4 hour, above on the day. Yep, because we're buying. So we're going up to the next level, like here. Um, pivot point, previous to, pivot points to weekly. Okay, okay. So we're buying. I like that. So, um, I think with this one, it's kind of similar to. I don't like JPY USD, but if you're going to take this one, which is also has a nice trend line going. Oh, here we go. So now you gotta go back. Okay. Price bounce off this trend line, then we're going to break the previous daily high to look for a buy. If it break into these, like I said, if I break into this low, then we're looking for it to change the break of structure, and we'll start to look at the market structure itself to change the break of character, which is the change of character. I mean, uh, so price bounce off this trend line, do something like this, boom. Then we look for it to buy, all right? And if price do something like this, break that trend line, boom. Excuse me, retest to the previous daily close or even up to this level here, and then boom, break into these levels. I will definitely look at that, but on the up and upside, I'm looking for this trade to continue to buy. I do not trade this trade, but we could definitely look into it. Um, see, I want to see what it do for tonight. I'm not gonna rush this trade, so um, only trade above the previous daily high. If you're going to trade this and if you're looking to sell it, you want to wait till price drop below the previous daily open and then down here where this monthly is or weekly is to trade down from the open to the close or the close to the open. Um, so yeah, so we'll write our notes and say wait for price to break the previous daily high to buy. Wait, yeah, they didn't break the daily either. Yeah, well, 4 hours from the one to the four. Um, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I want to see price, wait for price to break the previous high to buy. So, um, yeah. So that's JPY USD. That's the idea for that. And then we'll go to GBP, JPY. Why I don't like JPY, GBP, JPY for right now. We saw how news was doing it, but just specifically speaking, from anything we have done so far, price still hasn't broke the previous weekly low. Price hasn't broken the previous weekly high. And we've been toggling back and forth between this. So my thing is, I think this is definitely selling, as you can see, um, on the 1 hour. So, I don't really like this trade, but I think you could trade this as well. Um, hmm. Price broke below this and it's retesting it. So yeah, I think it's gonna sell. But I want to see what price do if it's gonna break that previous week, last week low. And if it does push this right here, then I'm gonna look into selling this for a longer period of time. But yeah, let's actually take the pivot points off. Looking for price to break above previous weekly close or break below previous weekly low. And it hasn't done either or yet, so I just want to see what it's gonna do. I don't like I said I don't trade it, so just want to watch GBPJC. I say eventually break previous weekly high or low. Hmm. And I'm okay with waiting on that. So that's kind of what I have. If I see anything else, definitely tap into with me into the mentorship. You'll get more trades and stuff like that. We'll get in. Um, right now, I don't see anything to get into for anything. Everything is I'm still waiting for. So coming into tomorrow, if I see anything, I'll definitely put it out on the community. I will try to make that my first thing I do when I get up tomorrow is sit, have a cup of coffee, get on this thing, find some points, and put them out there. So, but those are ideas that I have for right now. Moving into this week, um, yeah, I know I went over a little bit, but it's good. It's fine. It's cool. It's all mashed potatoes and gravy. All right. So, with that being said, man, even though you're maybe fighting some things like your emotions and what you've been going through and stuff like that, life is always gonna be life. You know what I'm saying? Life is always gonna be hard. So I want to encourage you to keep pushing, to keep growing, to keep doing the necessary work. And no matter what is going on, no matter what is going on with life, you just may not feel like showing up today, or you just may not want to be seen today. You know, you just want to scream and say,
Forex is stupid.
and I agree, bro. Like life be life. Half the time, that's what it is. It's just life. Like right now, a lot of this makes sense and it don't make sense because where my brain is at right at the moment. But if you don't see me go through it, you'll see how I feel, my ups and downs, and how I actually face it. Then you won't feel like it's real. So we're gonna see how I feel. If I get a chance to make any trades from what I saw, and if I do, I'm gonna put it up there. We'll see coming into looking at things tomorrow. If I do, I'll record it, put it on there. If I don't, it's fine. Like this could be an entry point that I want that we could get into, but I'm not too confident at this moment with that entry point because it hasn't necessarily broken the previous daily low. So I would want it to actually break it. Even though this broke the previous daily low, it came right back in here. So if it break it, boom, I have another opportunity to get into that and to be able to sell it. So we'll look at it. I gotta go. Tomorrow we'll get back in it. Tough like, you know what I'm saying? And you already know it's always love. It's always love to tap in with me here,
Forex is stupid.
or better yet, Forex is stupid.